I'm rambling again, I'm so sorry. So now we're going to dip down, going to buzz the vehicle assembly building. Hopefully not. Oh, I'm going to buzz the tower too. Okay, right. Look at this. Shaking. Oh, yeah. Where's the tracking station? What's up? Morning, guys. Morning. Morning. What's going on, guys? It's Bradders from Rabid Games here, and welcome to something a little bit different. I was trying to do a little bit of a series, well, not a series as much, more sort of just like a casual sit down and talk sort of video, where I just talk about random things and see if I can build a kind of a cool craft. As you can see, we're in the spaceplane hangar. I'm going to see what sort of crazy aircraft I can actually build and try and fly, try and talk you guys through some of the things that I'm doing. And if you like it, then I'll probably do more of these. I have got a couple of mods installed. This is the same save, well, the same game anyway, that I do Operation Exploration on. Obviously, this isn't the save that I do Operation Exploration on. I basically just want to be able to talk to you guys, do a little bit more of a sort of informal thing, and just generally go over sort of like KSP as its entirety, really, because I never really focus on building all that much, and building is something that I quite like to do. It's quite relaxing for me, even if the actual craft is completely useless in the end. Before I start as well, you may think that my voice does actually sound a little bit better. That's because I now have a pop filter on my mic, which means my P's and everything do sound a lot better and a lot smoother, as it were. I've also got my mic on a boom at the moment as well, which means I can adjust the position more accurately, which means we shouldn't have any more issues with the mic being too close or too far away from my face, which means I should have no issues with the audio, or little issues should I say, with the audio from here on out. So yeah, I'm going to get straight on with the building now. I'm not quite sure what aircraft I want to make. I think I'm going to start off with the Mark 1 inline cockpit, because I think that's always a good bet to start. If I just adjust my mic there, I think it's always a good bet to start with this cockpit. It's nice and lovely and nice. So obviously we're going to need some form of nose cone on here. I never really use the KW ones, so maybe I'll go with an intake, circular intake. How does that look? It's looking odd. I don't know. Does that look alright? Let's have a look. I wonder what else I could put, because there's different intakes, so maybe if I try a ram intake, that kind of looks a bit odd to me. So if I turn this around, maybe, still looks kind of odd. So maybe, yeah, let's ditch the intake idea on the front. So what we'll do, I want to create some sort of like, I don't know, sort of lightweight fighter jet sort of thing. Maybe what I can do is I can put a nacelle part back here. Nah, it's too curvy. Look, it's got a sort of curve here. Okay, I've had an idea. This is totally going to work. So what we can do is, if I can find the right sort of nose cone that I want, wherever it might be. Where have you gone, nose cones? There you are. So just get the advanced nose cone. No, darn it, get out of the way. Right, so if I put that nose cone here, right, that's fairly standard end. Most people have seen a plane that looks something like that before. So, right, let's get started. We're going to want, for the starters, fuel tanks, obviously. Fuel tanks are the way to go. So, I'm thinking sort of like a medium range aircraft. We don't want it going too long range, obviously, because, well, that's silly. Just unnecessary mass adding that amount of fuel on if we're not designing it to go that long range. I think that'll probably cut it with the 3 on there. And then what I'm thinking we may do, that's not what I wanted to do. What I'm thinking we may do is add a, which jet to go with? See, it's such an easy choice at the moment between jet engines. If you want efficiency and low altitude flight, you go with the Weasley. If you want high altitude flight, you basically have no choice but to go with the Whiplash. Not only are these getting rebalanced and retextured and just overall redesigned, these two engines in the 1.1 update, but there is actually a third engine coming in, which is like a fighter jet engine, and it's got variable geometry, which just looks awesome. Trust me, if you haven't seen the GIF yet, I recommend checking out the IMGA sort of image that Kerbal Space Program put on their IMGA page. It was amazing is the simple answer. We need to, what we're going to do is we are going to find the offset nose cone like this, and we're going to flip it around, we're going to pop it on like that. So what we can do now is, now we've got to design the wings. So I'm thinking we're going to start off with, let's turn on angle snap here before we do anything else. I'm thinking I want to go with the sweat wing design. So maybe if I just turn some symmetry on here, get that going on. I'm thinking of maybe a top mounted wing like that. That looks pretty funky, so we'll carry it on a little bit with these sort of wing slats that we have here. You slat. What are you doing, you slat? That's looking quite funky. I'm liking that. And so what we can do then is maybe add some of these. No, I'm bored of this wing design now. I do this to every single aircraft that I do. I always put like a little, like, I don't know, sort of spiky end to it. I don't particularly think it looks all that great anymore, especially not with those larger wing parts there. So I'm reckoning maybe I can put a canard on the end of here, give it a little bit of extra lift authority maybe. Let's see how that looks. I'm not sure. Yeah, that looks weird. I'm going to take them off and I'm going to maybe sweat wings instead. They also look weird to me. So maybe try some different sweat wings, same ones that we have on the Strake there. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if this looks alright or not. I think the wingspan's just too darn wide. So maybe try these little slats here. That looks alright. I think I'll keep that. That's going to be the way to go. So what was the idea I was having for intakes? We were going to have, like, I don't know. Let's get those nacelle parts out, because I want to have wing-mounted engines, sort of like a jetliner. So let's turn angle snap off now. I want to have, like, wing-mounted things like that. Maybe have them on like that. See, now that looks like a Sea-Doo sort of thing. Like, why did I say Sea-Doo? I mean, what are those things called? You guys know, the things that do stuff. That's really specific. Seaplane, that's it, seaplane. It looks sort of like a seaplane with those intakes on it. Almost looks like it should be landing on water, because it's almost like got the 3 floats. I bet it could land on water actually, if I made it, if it had to. Let's get rid of that. So we're now going to use the offset tool to pop this up here. Just clip it into the wing just a tad. Let's bring up the center of mass versus the center of lift. Oh wow, our center of lift is quite far back, so maybe I should try moving these forwards a bit, maybe? Like that? Okay, now that is starting to look funky as hell. Right, so maybe if I try and move these forward a tad as well. Like that. Yes, now that is looking badass, I think, personally. A badass looking plane already. So we're going to move that back as well. Then use the rotation tool. I think we're going to rotate these down slightly. So we've got a little bit of... There we go. That looks sort of cool. Ooh! That is a good idea. How about we have the yaw control integrated into these here. So, yes, that is a cool idea. I wonder if that would work in real life actually. Having like the yaw control on the end of the wings here, with like minimal tailplane at the back. Obviously you need a tail to keep it aerodynamically stable, but I wonder if the yaw control sort of thing here would actually work. I suppose we can always try it here. I know KSP aerodynamics, even with the 1.0 overhaul, aren't exactly the best representation of real life, but it might be worth a shot, who knows. So we're going to disable pitch and roll on these. We're going to leave the yaw intact. The rest of them I don't tend to disable anything on. It's usually just the stuff to do with yaw. Otherwise it does tend to get a little bit out of hand. I think I might just use this offset tool once more. I might push these a little bit closer. So, like that. Does that look okay? Maybe I could even fit another one. What if I try pulling them further away, like right here somewhere? Ooh. Ooh, now that's looking interesting. I might have to go with this. So if we move these back a tad, and then we click Alt, left click to copy them, then we do the same thing again here. Ooh, yes, now this is looking interesting. So we'll do exactly the same thing. We'll click these ones up. Ooh, I'm liking this design. I am liking this design a lot. Look at this thing. Let's call it like the Interceptor or something really, really cool like that. Something that's probably going to make a lot of people think you're extremely vulgar by saying it. And we're also going to go with the slanted control surfaces, because why the hell not? These things look good on swept wings. What doesn't look good on swept wings though, let's be honest. So you've almost got like a control surface box here, which looks sort of nice actually, nice and angular and awesome actually. And so obviously we're going to need a tail plane of sorts, so I'm not going to go with a proper canard. Instead I'm going to go with maybe a wing strake like this. Turn angle snap on, obviously. Get rid of that. Maybe just a small wing strake across the back here with one of these maybe. Let's have a look. Let's have a look, governor. That looks actually really, really cool. I didn't expect what I was actually building to become this cool, but it clearly has, and I think all we can do now is actually make it better, which is even better of a situation to be in. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it a little bit more stable. Why not have more fins? More fins is just more better, am I right? You guys should surely agree with that. More fins is more better, so we're going to have like strakes here in the wings that, I don't know, look like a shark, or I don't know. It might look a little bit funky, but who knows. I like funky. I like funky a lot. Right, what else can I do to this thing to make it look like a badass? I still need to add landing gear. Might add two little things here. So if I grab two of these little buggers right here and angle snap on there, what we can do is we can pop them on. No, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to put it on 2 times symmetry, thank you very much. And then what we'll do is we'll offset them into, turn angle snap off, angle snap them into the tail there, and then we'll once again have 2 little sort of elevons there, and that can almost act as like a flipper, sort of to push us upwards, if you get what I mean. Yeah. Right, I think we're pretty much strutted up and ready to go. Just got to grab some landing gear now. Always a fun choice, this. Trying to find the right landing gear for the right task, and this is probably where we're going to fuck up the look of our rather nice looking jet here, to be honest, because no, my luck, it's probably going to end up looking terrible. So we'll put one landing gear here. Oh, actually, maybe we won't. Maybe we won't actually mess this up. If we put some landing gear here, obviously we'll do some symmetry as well. Is that in line with the center of lift? I think it is. That was rather easy. All we need now is a name, and this is where you guys come in. We need a name for this craft, and I want you to leave it in the comments section down below. At the moment it's going to remain as Untitled Spacecraft, but as soon as you guys name it, and as soon as I find a good name in the comments down below, I will call it that. I will tell you in the comments I've called it that name, and I'll put this craft up for download for you guys on my Kerbal Stuff thing. Kerbal X hangar. Speaking of Kerbal X hangar, you guys probably want to know what that teaser was the other week. Ooh, I need to recover the launch pad. Yeah, you guys were probably wondering the other week what the hell that teaser was. Well, that is a teaser for a new series that I'm doing, and I'm trying to keep it a little bit under wraps at the moment because I've still got a couple of things to sort out for it, but it's something that I'm quite interested to start up because I think you guys will enjoy it a lot. Just purely for all the stuff that I've got planned for it. It's very sort of viewer engaging. So I'm going to keep it a little bit under wraps, partly because I haven't sorted everything out for it yet, but also sort of because that's sort of like the premise of the series, an evil, well, semi-evil corporation, if you know what I mean. It's not story-driven, it's more sort of a character thing, and like I say, it involves you guys, so I think you're going to like that very, very much. And so here we have the as yet unnamed spacecraft on the runway with its little wings and stuff. I have to say, this looks very, very cool. Although the engines do look rather large. I have to admit, the engines do look rather large for this. Oh well, we'll see what happens in a bit. Looks like we're running slowly depleting out of electric charge, so we'll just launch away. Fire up those 4 Whiplash engines. Surely this thing's going to be capable of doing great things on the speed front. It has a lot of fuel to burn. I definitely do think it is a good update that Squad have managed to make jet engines, all jet engines, so that they take fuel from every single tank. In your, there we go, we're lifting off. Beautiful gear in. I think it is nice that Squad have actually made it so that they now drain fuel from every single tank. So it's works a lot like RCS now, jet fuel, so that you can take fuel from this tank while simultaneously it takes it evenly from like the middle tanks and of course the other tanks within the thing, and it's shared evenly between the engines. It's rather nice, and this thing is very, very fast. Oh my god. It also seems to be rather stable, actually. At least at like high speeds. We're going to turn this way, try and bleed off a little bit of speed. This may not work as intended. I can see this ending in a crash. Yeah, I don't know whether it's just because I'm turning at high speeds or what, but this thing turns like a pig. It's very, very stable, but it turns like a pig. It's almost too stable, if you get what I mean. Too aerodynamically stable. Down we go, into the clouds. Oh god, frame rate. What are you doing? Frame rate, come back. Rip frame rate, 2015. Right, let's cut throttle completely now. Let's see what happens when we have to respond to a complete engine failure. We have to try and land this thing, so we're going to pop the gear down. We're going to try and bleed off as much speed as possible. Can you pull up? Actually, while I'm here, I could try the yaw. Actually, yaws very nicely. It's a very small direction of yaw, but it does actually yaw very, very nicely. That glide slope, though. That glide slope. That glide slope hype. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Level out, level out, level out, level out, level out, level out, level out. Lights on. See where the ground is. It's frighteningly close. Right, and flare your wings. Flare your wings, good sir. Here we go. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Well, that was a pretty much perfect landing, and yet we still hit the ground. I think we hit it too steep, I think was the general consensus there. So reverse to spaceplane hangar. Let's see what we can do with this thing. This is now the tuning section. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, I think we need more control surfaces is what we need, and we need it to have a bigger influence on the actual craft itself. So I'm reckoning if we have 2 little wing strakes here and we prop them up so they're like that there, and obviously we'll mess around with the offset tool a little bit just to make sure that they fit in, because they wish that they could be like the cool kids. Now, I would sing that song, but I think my singing is just so good that YouTube's content ID system may just mistake it for actual Taylor Swift, and so probably will copyright my channel. So, unfortunately you won't get me singing Taylor Swift. It's probably the first time you've ever wanted me not to sing, but oh lol, that's a kid, that's a joke, I cannot sing. The same ones as the top, because more of anything is a good thing. Yeah, I would make a joke here, but I can't think of a joke of more than anything, like of more of anything makes it better. Maybe water in California, maybe? More of it will make it better? I don't know. I've got nothing, I'm sorry. Right, so we're going to need now canards. That's what we need. Canards, I remembered the name. We want the advanced ones. Because this should give us a little bit more turn authority. Like that. How does this look now? It looks like one of them... I think it looks like a catfish. It does look like a catfish with like the barbs on the thing here. Does someone want to call it the catfish? Maybe if I put these things here. Maybe that will help. Now it looks even worse. Holy Christ, what have I done? Put them right on the end of the nose, maybe? Make it look really funky. Really, like, meta. Now it looks like he's got... Do you know what? I'm going to run with that. It looks like he's got a moustache. Yeah, I'm going to run with it. Screw it. Why not? This is going to be hilarious. Trust me. Okay, we are on the launch pad with the Untitled spacecraft, codenamed the KSS Blenkinsop because of its moustache. I'm guessing that's probably a good name for it because, well, Blenkinsop's a very British name, and the moustache that this thing possesses clearly is very, very British. You can tell. Look at it. That is a that's a moustache to be proud of right there. Look at it. It's beautiful. Even Jeb's smiling because of it. Look, oh, this thing's amazing. Holy crap, this thing's actually quite maneuverable now. Look at this. This thing is actually pretty darn maneuverable actually now. Look at this. You can see my pitch and roll indicators in the corner. You can see that I am pushing the pitch and stuff, the same as I was before, and it is actually having a noticeable difference on the way this thing... Whoa, although roll, still a little bit of a problem. This thing turns now. This thing turns so fast. Look at the nav ball. It's like Daddy's broken the game and we're spinning out of control, except we're not spinning out of control, we're just spinning nicely. I'm rambling again, I'm so sorry. So now we're going to dip down, going to buzz the vehicle assembly building. Hopefully not. Oh, we're going to buzz the tower too. Okay, right. Look at this. Shaking. Oh, yeah. Buzz the tracking station. What's up? Morning, guys. Morning. Morning. Right, and pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Oh, that was close to the ground right there. Why are we getting so much shaking all of a sudden? Is that just the camera? Look at this! Look how maneuverable this thing is. It's beautiful. Who knew that adding an extra line of control surfaces and just, I don't know, putting a moustache on the front of an aircraft would make it this maneuverable? It's completely beyond me, but Godspeed, Blenkinsop, you created a masterpiece! Now for a speed test. Let's see how far. We're going to level it out as best we can. Like this. Going to see how fast Mr. Blenkinsop here can achieve. Let's watch the speed counter rise. This is in low altitude flight as well, so it could probably get faster if it wanted to. So we're already going half a kilometre per second pretty much. And we don't seem to have much of a sign of slowing down either. This thing is madly fast. This thing is just like, look at it go. We're nearly going kilometre per second. Anything, in fact, I think if I don't pull up now, I think I may start melting parts of the craft together because of heating. Look, we're nearly going a kilometre per second. I'm now going to have to, oh, okay. Yeah, probably not the best idea, but we can salvage this. We can salvage this. This isn't a problem. We now dip below. There we go. There we get. There we go. No, no, Jebediah, come on. Back. No. You know which direction you want to go. No, we don't want the capsule hitting the water. We want the landing gear hitting the water. Because the capsule hitting the water, that's bad news, especially at 90. No, Jeb. No, Jeb. Come on. Right, we're going to spin. I'm going to try and spin this thing. Spin, 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 spin. This isn't going to work. Spin, spin. Right. Aircraft is very, very, very good unless you try to turn hard at 1 kilometer per second. Probably should have thought about that in hindsight. Yeah, this debris is going to take a while to clean up, bearing in mind that's 3 kilometers away, that's 2.2 kilometers away, and yeah. Oh, you can see the splash from that one. How lovely. Now, my ingenious and I think frankly inspired thing to do this time with the KSS Blenkinsop was simply to add more struts. That's it. Literally, I don't even think that's going to work, but we're going to give it a high altitude test. This is the final test we're going to give this craft before I certify it as ready for launch. It's just a high altitude test. See how high this thing can go before it runs out of oxygen, burns out, and it has a very painful death. So runway, here we go. All 3 wheels on the ground. 0.6 meters per second starting speed, so we'll just kill that. Okay, from a standing start, let's see how fast and how far this thing can go. Let's roll. Or fly. Whatever. Shh. I'm terrible at this. You know I'm bad at YouTube, okay? Already nearly up to 200 meters per second, which is frankly unheard of. I may even pull up just a tad more because I want to just get out of this atmosphere, the thick atmosphere, like the pea soupy lower atmosphere, as quickly as I possibly can, so that I can start setting some records without actually burning to death, which would be lovely. Really would be lovely. This is insane. This plane is insane. I'm totally calling the video that. This plane is insane. KSS Blenkinsop. Codename KSS Blenkinsop. You guys get to name this thing. We really need to start gaining some altitude faster. Come on. Come on. Yeah, this thing probably is going to explode because of heat. This thing! What the hell, man? It's so fast. It's a good old British bulldog. Terror and death and... Okay, so going into the thin atmosphere now, so we need to start pitching over. Pitching over, I said. Come on, Blenkinsop, you can do this. I know you can do this. Pitch down. Down, Blenkinsop. Oh, we have a flame out. We have flame out at about 26 kilometers, I think that was. And that was going straight up, so chances are you could probably get it a little bit higher if you're willing to withstand a bit more heating, shall we say. How far did we actually get up into... perhaps. We actually made it to space! Holy cow! This thing is insane! Let's watch it go up. Up to 50 kilometers. This thing's insane. I reckon if you put a rocket on the back here, you could make this into a space plane. If you did a little bit of tweaking with it. Obviously, you need to tweak it a little bit. And there we go, we're in space. We can do different, like, barrel rolls and stuff like that. Look at it go. Down it goes. And it's probably going to burn up on re-entry now because, well, to be fair, I've gone up too steep. My own fault, isn't the plane's fault. But, yeah. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, because why the hell not? We are basically stalling this thing. Oh, no, okay. Right, so we're going to have to pull up clearly. Okay, this isn't working. Come on. Right, kick in the thrusters now. Going to see if we can pull out of this dive. Going to see if we can pull this out. Pull this out of our bag of tricks here. Oh, Lord. Look at that. This is some intense flames here. Blenkinsop is having to cope with some serious temperatures here. So we're going to turn back towards land. Turn, Blenkinsop, you can do this. Come on. Yes, good job, Blenkinsop. You've been earning your mashed potato and beans tonight. Good Lord. pitch down, I think. This is going to be the best way to decelerate and get ourselves towards the ground as well. Look at that. Look at the deceleration. Look at the G's. Oh, man. And then we can pull up. There we go. And we can have the jets on now just a little. Just to see us over to the shear. And we are actually starting to turn. What are you doing? Blenkinsop. No, Blenkinsop. Bad, 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 bad. Okay, okay, so we're now in a... I don't know what to call it. An unfavourable position at the moment. So we're going to pull up and we're going to... Right. Okay, so we can cut throttle now because we're basically above land. We can glide this There's distance here. I think the only thing that's left to do now is basically slap some air brakes on it and call it done, basically. This aircraft is pretty much ready to go. It's ready for the skies for you guys to go and enjoy. Blenkinsop I don't think is a manly enough name for this thing. This thing needs like an American name like Brad or Chad or Chuck or George Bush. That. If I were to make any improvements to this craft, it probably would be the landing gear, to be honest. Landing gear do suck a little bit. They sort of look like... I think these landing gear in KSP do actually sort of look like a kiddie's toy landing gear. It's like, what is this? Landing gear for children or something? Like the new landing gear and stuff looks very, very nice. And apart from obviously the starter one, but then again, they're not supposed to look nice. They're supposed to look simple and just basically do their job. These ones have obviously been in the game for ages, but they just look wrong compared to the other one. It just looks wrong. It's not nice. My Ed Miliband's come out and I don't know why. Look him up if you don't know who he is. Yeah, these landing gear are not the best, I'd say, but I don't like the fact that KSP doesn't have like a procedural landing gear. I think procedural landing gear is probably the best option with KSP because I don't know how many times I've actually made a craft and it's been like a wonky angle on the runway because of the stupid landing gear. I don't see why Squad doesn't make just like one set of landing gear and make them procedural, because surely that would save a little bit on memory as well, because obviously you've only got one set of textures, you just got to stretch it with regards to how big you actually want the part to be. So at the end of the day it would save a lot of memory. I'm going to turn the lights on here. It's the moment of truth, the landing. Here we go. Can we see the lights? We cannot as of yet. Yes we can see the area which is being illuminated by the plane. Now what's the crash tolerance for these things again? Because I have no idea. What's the crash tolerance for these? I think it's 50 meters a second. I hope it's not 50. Because we're traveling 55. Oh, maybe we're actually going to be able to do it here. Right, ready, steady, flare like there's no tomorrow. Flare like the 1980s trousers. Come on. Flare like the 1980s trousers. Flare like the 1980s trousers. There you go. There you go. Let's put some brakes on. Let's get some brakes in our life. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the codename KSS Blenkinsop. As you've probably already aware, you've seen me put it through a load of rigorous testing and building. I've built this craft for you. I'm going to leave a link in the description to the download page for it. I'm going to call it the KSS Blenkinsop until one of you guys in the comments down below suggest a better name for it, and then I will change it to that. And I will change. I will make the description. I won't make a description when I upload this craft. But when you guys do think of a name, I will think of a witty, funny, sort of strange description with regards to your name for the craft and stuff like that. So I think that would be quite nice for you to do. And most importantly, let me know in the comments down below if you want to see more of these videos, because I quite enjoy making this one, and it's quite a nice, easy sort of video format to make, if you know what I mean. And it involves you guys, which is pretty awesome. On top of that, I have got another sort of pseudo series, which is similar to this one in the works, like I said at the beginning, but you'll see more about that in due course. I do start college next Friday, so Friday the 4th of September, I believe, so videos may be a little bit decreased as of then, but I will still be uploading as regularly as I possibly can. So guys, all that remains for me to say now is do remember to like and subscribe if you do want to see more from my channel. I do KSP news, I do this sort of thing, I do mod spotlights when I can actually be bothered to do them. I have Operation Exploration, which takes forever to make, but what basically remains for me to say now is, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I do in fact declare the KSS Blenkinsop, whatever I called it, the KSS Blenkinsop, airworthy. That's right. See you in the next one, guys. This is Brad signing out. Peace. With, of course, an epic zoom out shot to finish. Hope you enjoy the KSS Blenkinsop, guys. Very, very fun touch. Very, very fun craft to fly. What am I talking about? Probably shut up. Hope you like my new audio, by the way. It's very, very nice. Got pop filter and everything, so I no longer sound like an idiot. No longer sounds like someone's died or been shot every time I say a word with a P in it or an S. Yeah, pretty good. See you guys.